Hello and welcome, fellow Whovians. It is I, Melanie Dean, and I'm going to be your host for today's episode of The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Now, this is not going to be your most typical episode because we're not doing a review. We don't really have a topic per se, but this is going to be a little bit different and interesting. We're going to have a planning meeting for 2024 because it's 2024, new who, new year. Now we got to start planning our resolutions. We need to figure out where we want to go, where we want to pilot the ship, and just like the doctor themselves, maybe we'll have a little bit of a bi-generation and start having more content. But as we start trying to figure out exactly what we want to do, we're going to talk about it live, but we want your input. We would like to know, what is it that you want to see on our channel? What is it that you want to talk about more? Do you want more reviews, maybe starting back to Classic Who? Do you want more Big Finish reviews? Do you want comic reviews? So that's what we're here going to be talking about today. This is going to be more of a live kind of show, but whenever you watch this, please drop your comment below. Or however you're watching this, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on X/Twitter. I can't call it X, but whether it's on Facebook, what have you, so that way we can get in there, take it, aggregate it, and start getting our plan out for this amazing new year. Now, I'm not here by myself. I have three amazing people here as well. Because, well, weather, but anyway, the three amazing people who are joining me today, in no particular order. We're going to just, actually, we'll go through the list here. Dave Chapman, bring yourself up because you're going to be my,
hello, everybody.
Pushing buttons. How are you?
I'm doing temporarily better than you guys, apparently.
How's the weather? Because that's
the weather is minus 14 right now, going to be minus 43 by the end of the week.
So, as I asked before, is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
That does not matter. Minus 40 is where they join.
And that's where you just go.
So, yeah.
So you just kind of stay inside, keep the power running.
Yep. I'm heading off to Calgary after the show. I'm in Red Deer right now, so I got a couple hours drive, but I'll try and beat, the bulk of the snow that has apparently just already started. But yeah, this is the warmest it's going to be for at least the next week. So it's like, yay? Question mark?
Yay? Yeah, no. My Floridian blood saying.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Furiously backpedaling. So next up joining us, Kevo, really, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who makes all of our amazing thumbnails. There's Kevo.
Hello. Good evening. Good.
Look, it's Kevo's work.
Thank you. I love doing it. It's fun. And it's a great way to show my support for the show. I'm doing okay. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit here, which is insane for January. It's going to get down to the 30s, I think, by the end of the week. Weather's crazy. It's all over the place. Am I the only one who hasn't had snow? Well, no, you're Florida, so of course you haven't had snow. But no snow yet. What are you going to do?
It's weird. It's like we're all in completely different places in North America. And even like I'm looking over in our chats, and there's people all over the country, and not even just in our country. And we're all talking weather because the weather's insane right now.
We're only just in North America?
Well, the three of us are. Let's go ahead and bring in our resident Candyman, Mark.
Hi guys,
you're not in North America,
Segue.
But you're.
I bet it's further out.
Yeah,
you're a little further out.
Across the pond, and the pond is leaking. Big stow in the UK. At the moment, it's 1 degrees new money, so that's Celsius, centigrade rather than Fahrenheit. We don't do Fahrenheit.
That just means cold, right?
I don't know what it is.
That's just barely above freezing.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. That's 30. That would be for us like 30.
If it was not actively flooding, it would be a skating rink.
Yeah,
but it is actively flooding, and that's the only thing keeping it liquid, I think.
In the last week, we had about 216 flood warnings in the UK. And people have just literally have to be evacuated and been carried out by boats in certain places in the UK. That's how bad it's got.
That's nuts. Because like right now, at least for us in Florida, the big like squall line that just went up there. They got starts from the bottom of the Keys or the Florida all the way up to the Northeast. It's like this just huge line, kind of just going across the country. Right now we're waiting for floods with our high tide, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, waiting on floods.
Oh, Dan Holyfield says roads are flooded, rivers are overflowing their banks, and hay bales are floating around their fields.
Whereabouts are you, Dan? Whereabouts are you?
Yeah, Dan, I can never remember where Dan is. I know it's southeast, I believe, but I can never. Roger Andrew Bautista says, "Happy New Who Year, Kevo. Is still cold and sunny here. It is still cold and sunny here in Southern California. Dan, I feel sorry for people in the Northeast." And I believe that's where, they had it even worse than we have it here in the Southeast. So yeah, Dan is in the Southeast.
Yeah. Nick's not having a lot of fun either.
No, Nick, a power outage will not stop me from watching The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Tom, I think, just got power back as well very recently.
Because Tom was going to come on, but no power. Nick was going to come on. He's watching, but no power. I believe Jessica Womack, she was going to be trying to come in here, but the storm that just got me maybe an hour ago is now over her. So probably not going to have power because I watch my lights flickering on and off too. Mike says no snow in my part of the UK, but it's bloody cold. Yeah. Dan is in Northeast Georgia, 90 miles east of Atlanta.
Nice.
See, it's just crazy weather. I think it's Jos. I hope I'm saying it right. Verboven. Here in the Netherlands, we have cold weather too, although the frost is pretty mild yet. So it's funny. It's like now here we are globally. We can all talk about the weather and how it's just unseasonably fill in the blank right now.
Winter in the Netherlands is weird. I was over there. I mean, it was many years ago that I was over there, but it was you get weird ice formation of the ocean lapping, but you get little lakes and stuff. They looked like they were not frozen. It was just purely just beautiful ice. No, not the usual snow drifty things that we might normally
just
see,
flat
right?
and clear.
Yeah, it's just flat. It looked unmelted, like it just looked like calm water.
Oh, it's kind of like
completely frozen.
It's like the vines and TikToks I've seen where you see the person standing at the edge and they're about to jump, and in reality they're like leaning down and they just start running right across. And you're like, oh, it's iced. Okay.
Pretty much.
Like, it fooled me.
Sorry, I'm coming down here. I put in the last 2 loads of laundry just in case. And Wisconsin, we're getting several inches.
Oh, snow. Ooh, several inches. That's nuts. Yee. So today's episode, like I said before, this is more relaxed. It's kind of going to be like our off the rails episodes where we just kind of go off the rails a little bit. But I have my very, very fancy pen and this here paper bag that I will be writing stuff down because clearly I have no paper within my office right now, but I have plenty of paper.
You know that you have the ability to download this episode yourself. Right,
I could, but I refuse. Oh. I want to take notes. But yeah, I will absolutely take. I will download these things. What?
You want to take notes?
Yes, I always take notes.
So I know those words, but they make no sense in that order to me.
I am a note taker. I am old.
Dave, leave the note takers alone because you're not doing it. So. Just praise. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you.
Because I like pens and I like writing and on paper bags. But yes, I like taking notes. How dare!
I'm going to step away for just a few moments.
Okay. Can we do as he zooms in?
Note taker.
Brown paper bag exercise.
I have multiple paper bags. Thank you. So I will take multiple notes. So anywho, So 2024.
So if you put carbon copies, like carbon copy old school print on the 2 bags, you can just.
Are we talking the yellow? Are we talking white paper on the yellow, or are we talking white and then yellow and then?
I'm talking about the white and the blue paper, like the actual where you use the carbon
Yes.
copy.
Ooh,
Old school.
old school. Old
Class.
school. Won't even so old school. It's not even a Xerox copy. You're mimeographing with the big round thing. And like that, I might have lost some of our younger audience because they're like, "What on earth is she talking about?"
Daisy printers.
It's history, kids. This is Doctor Who. We are going to talk about history.
At some point, Russell, I need a mimeograph machine at some point during the show, just to show the kids these days.
Oh, he'd love that. And I'm sure if you said the word to him, it would get stuck in his head. We would get a whole episode about a mimeograph machine come to life.
Oh, my goodness. That's amazing. Let's see. Nico says, I remember the white and purple carbon copy paper. I remember that too. Roger says, think about how many megabytes there is to download this show.
Well, if you've got a 3.5 floppy disk, it will take forever. So, still historical.
An artist without paper, the world is doomed. Hey, paper bags are still paper, and quite frankly, many artists have done many artists and engineers have done many designs on napkins. So,
I think the Daleks were designed on napkins, actually.
Oh, I wonder if they were.
Nice.
That probably would make sense.
I think in the like when I've seen like documentaries, don't hold me to it, but when I've seen documentaries about Terry Nation and when the designer was having like a lunch and they're just drawing a rough copy of what a Dalek would look like on a napkin.
And maybe so since kind of topic, maybe that could be even a topic for a show, is just trying to do more of a researchy kind of show where we're talking about be a little bit more informative, have maybe segments here and there that are the history of the Dalek or the history of the Cyberman and the design and stuff like that. So we could actually do maybe not a live feel. It would be probably a little bit more edited, or we just really come in with the research and then someone's doing the live stream kind of format and putting the photos up as we're talking.
So that'd be more like a lecture format if we were doing it live then.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
So that's kind of an idea. And that's the other thing is for the show, this is all just blue skying, just spitball out ideas. I'll put them on, write them down on my paper bag. Maybe it'll turn into something. Maybe it won't. But that's the,
we're just brainboxing. We're brainboxing tonight.
We're brainboxing. And speaking of some one of my favorite brains that's in a little tiny box down yonder, but I have not clicked on it yet. Mark Muncy is here. Here in Florida. He travels himself. I have not seen him in ages.
I still can't see him, but that could just be on my end. There we go.
I haven't seen you all since last year.
Weird thing where it's giving me like a play button and stuff's not coming through properly.
Oh man, how is everybody?
Better when you're here, Mark.
Doing okay,
All right.
So Mark, how's the weather where you're at?
We're gonna have our first snow tonight, actually in town. It's usually up in the mountains, but it's actually coming in on us tonight. So that front that brought tornadoes to you all down in Florida is bringing us snow. So
yeah, that's that huge line
just moving right across the entire continental United States. So it's been fun. So. Our friends up in Pennsylvania had 6 inches. The Ed Beard and Destiny Beard, who do the music and art combo. So they're great people, and they were in the middle of their live stream and got shut down because of the snow. So,
no.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
That's terrible.
But I couldn't miss this brainstorming. Come on,
right?
I'm Mr. Epilepsy, so I literally have brainstorms all the time. So
you're
weather sucks today.
Bless.
But
that is true. I mean, it is an electro kind of.
It's exactly what it is. It's lightning striking your brain. So yeah, and it's fun. So no,
make them fun. You're like, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a different kind of fun. But it's one of those where I wanted to say, hey, one of the thoughts I had for episodes. Yeah. I'm glad Dave is here because that's who I wanted to shout out about. Is I know you've done some of the. We've done Doctor Who role playing and Doctor Who stuff like board games and stuff in the past. I thought an episode where we go on one of the Doctor Who RPG adventures, get some of the team to do a live role-playing game of a Doctor Who adventure, either FASA old school or new school. I just thought it'd be fun.
I agree. I think we should definitely do that. I think Mark should be the GM for it.
Oh, great. I knew that was going to happen, but
you should.
All right.
That would be amazing.
Candyman, let's just do a unit adventure. We'll do that. We'll do it. It'll just be the Brigadier meets the Brigadier meets the Brigadier, and everybody will be playing the Brigadier. That would be if I run it.
What are the Brigadier stats anyway?
5 Brigadiers. That'll be our adventure. No.
Kevo, start working on that thumbnail. You need to find as many photos of Brigadier.
Yeah, young Brigadier, 5 Doctors Brigadier,
Sarah Jane.
Yep. And then
don't forget
Bambera. A couple of animated.
Yeah, I got to bring Bambera. And then Brigham Wood from Big Finish, which was David Tennant. So he was the evil.
Cyberbrig.
Oh yeah, Cyberbrig. Yes, there we go. No, I just thought that would be fun. Hey, if Critical Role can make $2 million on a Kickstarter for playing role-playing games, why don't we do that? So.
At least I don't know if we'll make any money, but I definitely know we'll have fun.
I think it'll just be a great thing, and with some we can kick around while we're all at MegaCon. So
okay. Well, I think it's just me and you at MegaCon this year.
Yeah,
I won't be there. I'll be at Pensacon.
I should be at Pensacon. So
yeah, with our friends at Earth Station who are bringing me out for that one.
Oh, nice.
Because convenient timing, because I've got other events all up east there.
Yep, Evil Brig for Inferno. There we go.
Yep. With the eye patch.
With the eye patch. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's how you know he's evil. Eye patch.
Yeah. Eye patch always makes him evil, unless you're Snake Plissken.
Or Nick Fury.
Nick Fury.
Yeah, evil tendencies. Or tendencies, I guess?
Definitely chaotic. There.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one question since I'm used to playing like Dungeons and Dragons, how would we be able to facilitate this? Like, Dave, you have the book. Do we each need to have the same book, or was it something that you would be able to?
You need a character sheet and some D6s.
Just need a character.
Yeah,
and then that's it.
Depending on which version we use, but either one are pretty compatible. So.
With the D6s, we could do the D6s online.
Yeah.
So when it's our turn, you can just roll, like have a little camera on a D6, or do it computerized D6.
I mean, we used to do that with some of the stuff we did in the past, where we were rolling dice and things for stuff, and then worst case, virtual tabletop stuff we can do. StreamYard works with that. So
okay, so then
I suppose just share. Yeah.
How long does a game last?
Usually a couple hours. So it would have to be but you can make a condensed and special version. So there might be
some of those books are an adventure.
Yeah, some go for days and days and days, and some go for But there's introductory adventures in all of them. So some of the old school stuff you can do pretty quick. So
I said if it takes 2 hours, we can do a normal show and the after party combined into one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or and split it for the podcast listeners at home. Split it to 2 parts. So get some content out of that. So, yeah, there you go.
I think the longest show we did was about 4 hours, Mel.
Oh yeah.
That's when we opened up the candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was 4 hour show we did.
Wasn't one of the Thanksgiving shows like a couple hours while everybody was cooking?
Oh yeah.
I think that was at least a few hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because usually like the live shows are those typical ones that are specifically live, those tend to be much longer.
And there's nothing saying we can't get together on a not day, record the thing, record it live or record it not.
There we go.
Edit it, re-air it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That works too. So do I was say like a Sunday afternoon or something, and that's I think a couple of my friends, they do a weekly show, but they record it literally over a 2-day weekend, and then they put it an hour out every week. So it's and that's them playing Dungeons and Dragons.
That's a good question to ask the audience. Do they either live show or pre-recorded? So,
Yes.
the audience, what do you prefer, like an edited show or live interactive show?
That's true.
Just put your comments down and see what you think.
Yeah, that's one thing I need to find out is how we can get more like the, I don't want to say interactivity, but I know with certain platforms you can do polls and that you can have voting. And I think that might be a thing that we can start trying to figure out how we can, be a little bit more interactive. I mean, we're plenty we're pretty good at least trying to show comments and stuff like that. Roger says, sorry.
We were both hitting it at the same
We're
time.
both going bleep. So Roger says, hopefully not as
there.
long as Monopoly, which I believe has a Doctor Who edition.
Several of them.
Yeah,
I've got one.
They have I have the Risk with the Daleks Risk.
Yep.
That one was pretty cool. So, Dave, I gave you the old Doctor Who board game, right?
You
The
did.
old original one. Yeah,
Do I have it here or do I have it away? I may have moved it.
we'd have to punch that though, because it was a mostly unpunched. I think it got a little punched in transport.
Yeah.
Oh, the Doctor Who Monopoly is episodes,
Yeah, I
not
think
like
over there.
planets.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Oh.
Yeah, they were.
Well, now I
were-
have to make my own. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because we need Gallifrey,
Yes.
Metabilis,
Andrew
Rexacorval,
says-
Salvatorius.
Oh, I'm stealing that. Andrew says I would like both live and pre-recorded shows on the history of Who, etc. So now I wrote history of Daleks, history of Cybermen. I'm like, history of Who. We have a whole sequence.
On our Eerie Travels TikTok, we've been doing Eerie Travels book club because I've been a little under the weather. So I've been doing just part of my day is I read a book at lunchtime, and they're usually some old retro sci-fi random thing. And then I realized I have a whole shelf of Target novels. And I'm like, oh, that could be fun, is just reviewing some of the old Target novelizations and some of the new ones that are coming out, or maybe even some of those new adventures, the Lost Adventures and stuff like that. So that might be something, if anybody's interested in that, young listeners, young TARDIS people.
So do you think it would be more of a review or
just
or
if
making
it
more
was
like a
worth your
book club
time,
kind of deal?
Yeah, like a book club thing. Where
Are
doing
you
like a
committing yourself, Mark, to like a Jack and Nori story? Jack and Nori with Mark to read the Target book.
Yeah, just I've got the flyer going in the other room. I could just sit down.
But does the fire look like the inside of the any of the TARDISes?
No, but I could work on that. I do have one of the.
I both
round
loved
things.
and
I just need to
hated
figure
that
out how
about
to
the
make
Tales
more
of the
of them.
TARDIS.
So, but
Okay, so maybe
might be closer to the TARDIS from the movie, from the where he has the fireplace and he's reading the time machine book. So.
How did it used to go? Like, are you sitting comfortably? Let's begin.
Yes,
was the Jack and Norris.
I listened to a few the other day last October, which to me was the other day. That was the Christopher Lee doing the bedtime stories on BBC.
Yeah, CBBC's. Yeah.
Oh man, those were epic.
Nice.
I think David Tennant did one just before the 60th.
Yep.
oh wow. I'm going through the comments right now. Andrew Moore said, and you had already popped it up. Star Wars Theory got a lot of followers reading Star Wars comics with sound effects and stills of the comics. Oh my lord, if we acted them out all foolishly, that would be.
Oh, that might be fun.
That might be fun. Oh, okay, hold up. And adding that. I know.
We
I'm
are
so
not
sorry,
allowed
Dave.
to
I'm
let
writing
Tom
things
be the
down.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Huh?
Tom's not allowed to be the Doctor because that would just drive him nuts not doing that.
It's like I like that for the effect.
You have to
That was
commit
good.
to
Very
one.
good.
It's like
That was
Lord.
totally not intentional, but as soon as I saw it moving,
But it
I'm like, I'm
worked.
going to run with that.
It worked beautifully. I thought that was intentional.
10.
It has like
He's already
hand
mad.
controls, but sometimes it just picks up my random talky hands.
I love it. What? Yeah, just like that. You saw.
See, I get
You
there. You
saw
go.
me.
See,
Ooh,
like,
I like
just-
Nico's comment.
Lord.
Too much fun.
Actually, Tom could be a good master.
Yep.
Wow,
Like Nico's comment there.
that's true.
And that's one thing I know. Nick had mentioned it in our chat, and I think he might have mentioned it on here. And that was okay. Not only am I writing down reading the comics, but also reviewing the comics, since there's so many different lines, especially like with Titan. So when it comes to also other reviews, I see also there was one for further up about doing review of like a revisited kind of deal. And that was one thing we were discussing is we already have reviews of we always do the current season. We started going back when we didn't have an idea of going, okay, we'll start with 9 and start reviewing that. Maybe we should have more segments and maybe just do classic and start with 1 and start doing classic kind of stuff. And then 2 and just kind of, move on from there.
Just roll the dice and see which number we land on.
Yeah, just get random episodes. I like that. That's what I've been doing with the book club. It's just I'm having people send me random numbers. We could do that's fun comments, as people could just say we take a random season from one person and then a random episode from another person and see what happens. So we could even break it Doctor episode and say if you want to just do seasons and episodes, just do random 1 through 15. And, 1 through 20 on the episode number and see what happens.
Dave, there's not a D15, is there out there?
Probably D16 is easier, but I'm pretty sure there is a D15 out there.
I'm pretty sure one of the random game companies used it for some mechanic somewhere. So, David, zooming in.
Cheers! I have no idea why it zoomed in on me.
It reminds me of that old meme with the startled hamster.
Right?
It does. Or was that the prairie dog? It was like, dun, dun, dun.
I'm sure I can turn that off, but it's almost more fun not to.
I was this year's old when I found out, the IDW did the Star Trek crossover with Doctor Who, that they were doing a second one, but then the license got revoked at the last minute. And so the script is out there for a certain doctor with Clara. So it could have been Matt Smith, but it probably was Capaldi going to Deep Space Nine and dealing with the Dominion War. So that'd
be interesting.
That would have been epic because they did the next gen with the Cybermen meeting the Borg.
Yep, I've got those comics.
Those are great.
I think there was about 4 of them, but there was a little bit of issues. With them.
And then I guess they were working on a possible Battlestar Galactica because they had the rights to that at the same time too. That would have been
what I wouldn't mind seeing as a crossover would be like Doctor Who and Babylon 5.
Oh, that would have been epic. Yeah.
I'm not sure you guys have ever seen Babylon 5 at all.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that one.
Oh no, it's must watch.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the books.
Somewhere I own them all, including the spin-offs.
Would you want an episode of us just different people talking about, what crossovers they wish they could see?
Yeah.
And maybe crossovers that we have seen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. That would be fun.
I love Andrew Morris's comment saying RTD wanted an Enterprise Who crossover. I was just reading that passage in his book, The Writer's Tale, the other day.
Yep. That was a great book, by the way.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I want to do like whole episodes about just that book because it's so fascinating to look at him as a writer, and you can see certain things like that eventually come true. Like I am not at all surprised that he had a trans woman in a little scuffle band in one of his first specials, because that's something he's been writing about wanting to put in Doctor Who for ages, is like a cute little band and stuff like that. So it's fascinating to be able to guess what he might do based on those writings.
Yeah, because you can see some of it coming down the road easy. So, now he's got a chance to pick up where he left off. So,
I see Roger wrote, I suppose the missing classic Who episodes can be reviewed if the animation is perfect. It's funny. I've seen some of the ones that was the third Doctor that they did the animations for, and I wasn't a huge fan of the animation on it.
No,
but
there was
the audio.
Okay, the BBC animation I'm not over keen on, me personally, but there is a YouTube video out there where they've done like Doctor Who in a Japanese animation.
Yeah, those are actually pretty good,
which is
surprisingly
really good.
Yeah.
Even though it's just like a short episode, I think it was like 15 minutes, but done it really well. I think we've got about 3 or 4 Doctors in it, and I can't remember what it's called actually. I'll see if I can research and put it in the comments somewhere.
Andrew, we have done this. We've reviewed at least two books.
Yeah,
because we did Tom Baker's
Childhood's End and Scratchman.
Yeah,
and we did Sophie Aldred's
at Childhood's End. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've done 2.
That was fun reviewing it to her face. I never want to do that again.
Except it was brilliant, so that was an easy one.
Yeah, it's fine if you like it.
Good book to review.
It was amazing telling her to her face.
Yeah,
her accent for her Jodie accent was amazing for the audiobook. But my lord, the Sylvester McCoy one was it was interesting. Her explaining the, I guess, etymology or the background of his accent, of like where he was born, where he was raised, where he does, and how you have to get all these nuances right. Yeah, so interested. Yeah, I saw those. Can we have more? Okay. I guess we're going to be reading and listening and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, one question regarding that is, those are the books that would be Doctor Who story driven. Do you want books also that are behind the scenes kind of stuff? Because that's hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Dave, Yiji, his book. Do you want behind the scenes books too?
I would.
So
I love that stuff.
Okay.
I still think Nth Doctor is one of my favorite books, just because it's all the different things that tried to make the movie before the movie came out. All the story of all the things that almost happened.
Wow.
is great.
That's awesome.
And
Here's a good book we could talk about.
Hey, yeah.
Why is your camera now hating on everything? Like, no.
Your camera says no. Your
Turned
camera
off
has
the
beef with
Zoom part, and now it's just tracking me.
It's like,
Stop it.
Mackenzie and I are just friends, camera. I swear.
I know. It's like, why the hate? Oh my god.
This is the downside to using this particular camera. I know there's got to be a way to turn that damn thing off, but
I definitely think something in that same vein of, the binge watcher's guide and the idea of, informational episodes and talking about like, here's what to know about this doctor. Here's what to know about this alien. There's definitely something in that as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like a deep dive. I guess there's rumors of a Sea Devils, some sort of spinoff. That would be cool. We could do a Sea Devils episode.
Yeah.
Which one's
So
why is this happening?
Yeah.
So make it so like it's like a deep dive on that character, or maybe things you might want to know about. Maybe why the Doctor and the Master don't like each other. Even if it's just very ground floor opening. Yeah, opening our arms open wide to new Whovians, because we're in a new year, we're in a new Doctor, and traditionally people jump into, mostly younger generation will jump into, this is their first getting into a Doctor. So Dave, why did you do this?
He's playing with the camera.
He's playing with the camera.
I need to not look at you.
He has ADHD.
Yes, I do. I have many things.
Do you have all the letters? Are you collecting all the letters like I'm trying to? Squirrel. What in the hell?
I don't know, you wanted to roar, so I roared into my mic.
Okay,
It did.
Well, what
that was the point of this. What do you want? Okay, here you go.
This is true. But yeah, I like the idea of doing deep dives, or because I don't know if people like lists, because I like watching YouTube. I like watching lists, but I don't know if other people like top 10 fill in the blank, top, 10 things you need to know about such and such. Although, you know what?
Should we do like a rankings list like a lot of places do? What do people feel about ranking?
Yeah, that's a good question because I there's so many places that do that, but we could do our spin on it easy. So,
I mean, it's so subjective is part of the only issue with it. So ranking by whose, parameters.
True.
Well, that's when we get those episodes, we have fun debates with those too. I really enjoy like our what is the scariest Doctor Who, and we got into we had fun with that one. I love the King's Demons one. That was not on my top 10 at all, and now I'm like, now I get it.
Or the other possibility, we bring in we say 5 different monsters, we rank them, and whoever gets the same sort of ranking, it goes in that level.
Mm-hmm.
So if me and you, Kevo, say an S ranking for a Sea Devil, for example, but Dave decides to do an E level, then we drop it down to an A level or a B level. So
that could actually be kind of fun where you do that live, or you have that whole S tier kind of thing going on, and everyone's kind of vying and making their points again in a fun controversy kind of way.
Yeah,
of going no, and if someone going, okay, fine, it's been voted that this is going to be an A, and then you have the one person who's angry about being an S. It's like, no, okay, fine.
Spirited debate.
Spirited debate.
Rather than doing Doctors, doing something unusual, either episodes of season 26 or monsters that are not the common monsters. So you can't use Daleks or Cybermen. You have to use other monsters.
Yeah.
And I think,
yeah.
And you know what? I like that. I like that idea. And I think for the panel, that would be more, it would be to keep the spirited part to it, is that we already know where everybody else has already ranked everything. So that we know, to have fun with it, that this is going to be, a fun little thing. But I think that spirit of, sometimes getting a win, sometimes getting a loss can be fun. And that if everyone doesn't take everything, everyone doesn't take everything to heart too bad. So I think it would be kind of fun doing that.
It'd be kind of fun for.
It's just an idea to kind of mull around.
What if we all did? Anyone who's going to do that show, a top 5, whatever it is, and we're doing that show in 2 weeks. Everybody does a 60-second. This is my top 5s video, and we put those out as YouTube shorts, as TikToks, as Reels, as all of those things. So here's Mark's top 5 of this.
Yeah.
Here's Melanie's top 5 of this.
Yeah. Team Eerie, Team Candyman, Team this. And this would be great for March Madness time. When that's going to
March Madness of aliens.
This could be our version of that.
Yes, because brackets can be fun.
Yeah.
They're not,
doing that on Eerie Travels is like a ranking of cryptids and ghosts and stuff, and which is better, UFOs, ghosts, cryptids, whatever. Now that we have aliens apparently in Miami malls, so
oh my, I know my husband's all about that. He's like, wow, was there 50, 60 cars?
Oh my god, I have so many emails about that. And then there's some Bigfoot picture that I've been getting so many emails about, and it's a screenshot from a computer game, but nobody wants to believe that it's a screenshot from a computer game. They're all, this is it. This is the evidence we've been waiting for. I'm like, no. Sorry.
That's one thing we haven't done, is doing Doctor Who video games reviews.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, because we started to a little bit, but I don't think.
Oh, my God.
Even if it's something where maybe it's a review where everybody has played something, that if we have a game, like the VR game, I played the demo for it and never played the actual game, but I think at least one person has done that, so that could be also a thing that we could incorporate.
I found that in a Goodwill up here.
You did not.
Nice.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I might have to play this. So I don't have the game, I don't have the system, but now I'm like, ooh.
Heck yeah.
Too much fun.
That's awesome.
So I think that's been one barrier for a lot of our shows is whenever someone like will pitch something, they're the only one that can speak to it. And so it never really gets across the finish line for okay, or it gets the green light. So maybe this can also, open up to, okay, we can have more content or shorts or just shows where it's just having the one person speak to it. And if you want to have the full panel, if you want to have 5 people, awesome. If you just want to have 2 people or whatever, just you, that's cool too. So we can kind of open up the framework of what our show typically looks like. But I like that idea. Yeah. Writing stuff down on my paper bag. Oh yeah, Mark doesn't know. I have a paper bag, so I don't have actual paper.
Oh, nice. That works.
Yep, see? He understands.
Hey. Some of the best laid plans of mice and men come from that.
And paper bags.
Yep.
Exactly.
So what other ideas y'all have? Kevo, what have you been itching to want to do?
Well, I love theme content. I'd love to do theme stuff. There's a lot of different things that we can do. There's a lot of different holidays that we can do different things for, like Valentine's Day is coming up. So, like, are there any love-themed episodes? Doesn't have to be the Doctor as the romantic figure, but there's a lot of love stories in Doctor Who.
At least 3 marriages.
Yeah.
The
Husbands of River Song is Christmas, but it's also very romantic. We always have so many different, Pride and History months. Black History Month is next month. Women's History is the month after that. It's a history show, so we could talk about what historical figures we would love to meet on Doctor Who in these categories. I think that would be a lot of fun because I would love to start seeing more history on Doctor Who again. Moffat kind of fell off, and then Chibnall kind of brought it back, but it was okay.
He started strong with it and then pushed it away real quick. So.
It was still there, at least. He didn't get rid of it the way that, 12 didn't meet any historical figures.
Yeah, not a one, which
I
would have loved to have seen Capaldi with a couple historical, who knows.
Yeah.
Bring back Churchill for one shot with, our good buddy from the show. If we could bring him back with Capaldi, that would have been amazing.
We've gotten so old that the companion was born in 2004. We could have figures from the 90s, and that's still history.
Yeah.
So, I want to start seeing history.
Cheers, Kevo. You just made me feel old.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm going to collapse into dust now.
I'm in the same
Can you
boat.
see the gray? Can you see the gray?
Now I'm stuck.
No, but I'm with Kevo. It's that there's we're thinking I don't want our own ages and our own purview of what history is to hold back the show because there's other people's history that is constantly living and constantly going on. So no, I like that idea.
Yeah, it's all in good fun.
We were just talking about another time travel movie called The Final Countdown. Does anybody remember that? It was this the USS Nimitz in 1993 gets sent back to just before Pearl Harbor, and they have to decide if they're going to intervene and change history, because the USS Nimitz could literally win World War II all by itself, basically, because it had fighter jets and all this other stuff, and they're trying to decide if they're going to save this. But we realized that was from 1993 to 1943. The same movie took place today, they would be traveling back to the 80s.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yep.
I still want to live in the 90s.
Yeah. So.
Fashion's coming back from the 90s. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that the wide leg jeans are back. I'm like,
I've seen Melanie in those parachute pants, the neon ones.
Heck no! I was a Janko girl. I was absolute full on Janko. Please, I put the blue back in my hair like I used to. I feel like my midlife crisis is complete. I'm here for it. Carpenter jeans are back.
I was just thinking about those puffy starter jackets today with all the different teams. I had a Mighty Ducks one. It was beautiful. I forgot about those. My sister had the New York Rangers. She was not a fan. She just had one.
She just had the jacket.
Where did it come from?
There you go.
He's wearing his Bears hoodie.
Nice.
Kind of looking at. Oh, Nick brings up maybe review. He says fan films, so I'm assuming
discussing
reviewing
the fan films that have been made and are being made, and
We've talked about some.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Man, some of the stuff Johnny Who has been posting has been amazing.
That's me and Jess work with
Yeah,
Johnny Who.
you guys, I've been following your stuff. I'm like, my God, that you just posted a bunch of the Gallifreyan stuff you guys are working on, and I was just like, give me the high collars. If you have a spare of those or something that I can like purchase, let me know.
Yeah, I'll put you in contact with Johnny.
That'd be great. Because
that's no issue.
That would be. I'm making a Doctor Who spare room that was the old gardener shed here. I'm turning it into a TARDIS collectible thing.
That'd be cool, actually. One episode on like what are the classic Doctor Who toys or merchandise.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. Which is like absolutely astronomical in price. And if you got one, it'll be like the Star Wars Boba Fett with a red like jetpack going for X amount of money, or the Jawas in a final coat.
Yep. It's our good friend Simon's his Dalek costume has a puncture.
Yeah.
So, you know, those things are so valuable now. It's crazy.
Is talking about Johnny Who, I think he's got about now personally he's got about 13 full-size Daleks he's made by himself.
They look so cool. And some of the stuff I'm excited to see what the latest stuff is. So thanks for introducing me.
No worries. But I know there's a couple of like fan films in the UK. I know Johnny's one of them, and I think there's another one called DW as well.
And Roger, you're right. Love and Monsters does count as a love story. Yes,
it does.
Romance is what you make it. So yeah.
I mean, it was about. I see you writing down all my. Yeah, I'm running out of paper bags.
She's the note taker.
It's there, and you're in, and this is my fun, fancy cursive scrawl. So.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, this is the fast writing. This isn't my.
This isn't my
good. This isn't my good script right now. So this is.
Oh, that's nice though.
Thank you.
That's all my notes from.
Yeah, but I mean, look at my rating. Like
I was literally going to say that's better than most boys. So you're fine. My husband, awful.
I get the could possibly be a doctor.
Yep.
Handwriting
specialist here.
Do I have anything on?
You need an Egyptologist and a young priest and an old priest to read my stuff. So.
Like notes from my last show that I did. It's like I can barely read my own stuff.
I can't. I don't know if I can get mine.
There you go.
I can't get my. I think it's.
Oh, is it on my paper?
It's too. Yeah, I can't do it.
There you go, right there.
It's good. Right I can't zoom in though.
It's wow.
Bring your face closer. Bring your face closer.
No.
Sort of, kind of. Nope.
Oh, so close.
It's good though.
There we go. Right there.
You can see at the top.
Yeah, I can read that.
Yeah, that's legible.
Oh, that's good.
My mom was a teacher.
There it is.
Yup, there it is.
Yeah, I come from a family of educators.
So you learned how to outline quickly.
So, you know.
Yup.
Here you go. Here's my.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's beautiful. Yep.
That's because originally I went to school for I went to an art school for it was theater, but it was technical theater, so I had to learn how to draft. So you learned everything in drafting, and at some point way back in the 7th grade, I had a history teacher that taught everybody that every note had to be outlined, and he made everyone learn outlines. And I have to admit, Mr. Cato, if you're still out there, thank you, because that has been invaluable for me throughout my life to be able to do note taking in an outline form. And thank God he did it in the 7th grade. So all through high school, summer college, all that.
See, I had teachers that were like, no, you will write these notes down verbatim. Here's an overhead projection. Write this down letter perfect.
Oh, that's where it's like everything to this day is everything's bullets. Everything to me is bullets. It's indents. You never write in the margins, and it's crazy.
So, Melanie, I want to see how badly you twitch when I say this.
Okay.
Coming from I have a theater tech background. I do design, so I've done some drafting. I draft in pen, in color, and in color. So my elevations are like different colors.
Yeah,
Brave, stupid.
I'm still on pencil if I'm drafting. I'm still twisting the pencil because that's what you do.
No.
Yeah, no. If I do pen, I am very much a micron pen. I get you. I'm sad. Anyway, we just
published novel was my first published novel was on a typewriter. So So yeah, I know how, and you type the whole page, you get to the last line, and you accidentally type an extra X, and you have to retype the whole damn page because whiteout was not allowed. Your publisher, that was the worst.
People were like that. Don't white out. Excuse you?
White you out.
There's 4th century scribes that had a. You have that in the U.S. Constitution. Whiteout's fine.
Someone who's got dyslexia and can't write well.
It was not allowed. It was not allowed to my publisher at the time. Although a little bit later, I did one on that same typewriter, and the E had fallen off of it, and so I submitted the book, and with all these blank spaces, I didn't really notice. And the guy was like, "What are all these blank spaces?" And I said, "Oh, the E fell off. So wherever you see a blank space, just put in an E. It'll be fine." he was not very happy because there are a lot of E's in a 100,000 word book.
I was gonna say that E.
Yes,
it's not a Z or Z depending on where you're from.
Z. That's one they talked about at my old publisher for years. So.
Hey Mark, here's our game plot. We're all playing one of the Morbius doctors.
Oh, hey, there we go.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Nice.
But no, Andrew wanted to know how Christian's doing. Christian is doing better. Christian is doing fine. Christian is taking some time for himself, for his family,
for his health,
for his own health. So, and we're gonna keep this show rolling without him for the moment. And we want him to continue to get better. I know he sometimes watches, sometimes he's not able to. But he's doing as well as he can, and we all miss him, and I know all of you guys at home miss him as well. I know some people have reached out to him privately as well, just to say, "Hey, we miss you, man," and he definitely appreciates that, and we'll definitely pass along that that people are asking about it. Can I make it work?
Yay!
I have to wonder if it's not a function of my camera, not StreamYard, but I can also do thumbs up.
Hey,
I have no idea what else it does, but I can do those.
Can you do this? Can you be like Nero?
Good question.
No. Can you do the heart?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. I think you can do heart too.
Oh yeah,
no, he did the heart.
You can do the heart. Okay. No.
And then there it is.
Ding.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Oh, so beautiful.
Oh my goodness. What was another thing I wanted to so time shows when it comes to our runtime. Again, I just kind of go in with my YouTube kind of purview, and I tend to see something that's long and I don't click on it. I don't know if anybody else is kind of like that. I mean, live, shows. I mean, here we are, we're already at an hour. That's one thing, but I don't know if we do pre-recorded or other kind of little stuff. If people want to see more shorts, if they want to see more, small content, I guess it's more of a question for if you're a viewer and if you're watching this after the fact and you've made it to the hour mark. Clearly you like longer content. I should have asked that at the beginning of the show. Maybe I'll leave that as a comment. But yeah, maybe just varieties. An idea, I guess.
It varies. I prefer long shows when it's interactive. When it's like a short, like pre-recorded stuff in 15 minutes. But I have sat down and watched History Channel for about 3-4 hours talking about epic battles and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. It all depends on how deep a dive, how well presented, and all that. I tend to tune out of the panel shows pretty quick, but if we're having a good banter, I've watched those QIXLs that go almost 2 hours. So.
Yeah.
Because I don't know whether or not we should keep going with After Party, because for podcasts, excuse me. So at the beginning, when we first started the show, we were at a podcast. We were doing this for Sci-Fi Radio, and we had to be at an hour. And then it was all the other podcasts. We had to be at an hour. I don't know if we still have to have that constraint, or if I could just edit it out, or make it 2 parts, that kind of thing. So I don't know if we necessarily still need to have an after party, but I think it's more me just trying to get a gauge from our audience if they definitely need the after party, or they're just kind of like, hey, this is a show. Just keep the ball rolling. Don't even call it what it is.
I like the after parties. It's just we need to get more beer in. Sorry.
I love the after party when it is a different thing.
Yeah. When we break off the topic and just have fun. Yeah.
When we just drone on for 90 minutes, which I am definitely one of the people who have caused that. Then maybe not, but if we decide we want a hard 60 minutes, a hard 45 minutes, pick a thing.
Yeah.
And then do an after party, or we could do 2 back-to-back shows if people wanted that. Like, here's a 45-minute show, here's a separate 45-minute show,
and here's another.
We go off the air for 5 minutes, and we're back with new panelists.
That would be cool. That might not be bad also, so that the live audience is still having fun. And that at least for like YouTube or wherever else we're kind of going, they can go back and see it's already kind of separated out for people who aren't watching live.
And the other thing as well, so for example, people even from team panel, rather than staying on for an extra hour on the after party, they can like say, okay, let's have other people come in as a different panel to this.
Yeah. Or some people may just and some people may just watch the after parties if we start splitting, make a separate playlist just for after parties or something. So
I know when I've done the bits of the TARDIS, and there's the thing. Do people like the bits of the TARDIS, the edited down to 10-minute versions of our shows? Because they're a pain in the butt to do. But I try very, 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 very hard to never put after party content in. So that even if that means Christian doesn't get onto these bits of the TARDIS because he's not given his opinion, or one of us, whoever, until the after party, well, great, tune into the show and you'll find that out. But that doesn't mean if we just don't have the after party, that is irrelevant. But yeah, if that's a thing that we want, and if you have not seen our bits of the TARDIS, go check it out. If their gaming ones are hosted on my channel, theradhole.ca, and all the rest of them are on the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS YouTube channel.
If you specifically want to watch shows for all the little most embarrassing-ish kind of moments, that's where you want to watch bits of the TARDIS, because that's where he makes sure that
I try to put the comedy in.
It's like, did somebody make it? Is there a cat, or somebody made almost a flub, or could get a screenshot from
Melanie
something?
Eating.
Or Melanie eating sherbet.
That stuff was terrible.
Your face was brutes.
I still have Terry's oranges. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is you're going to bring those to me to feed to me at Pensacon.
I'm not going to Pensacon. I can't get the time off. I got promoted at work, so I can't take 2 long vacation days.
Yes, you
times
can.
in February. It's February. It's a small.
You're promoted. You just prove it. You're the boss now. You just prove it.
Okay, well that is kind of true, but still no. Lead by example, damn it. That's how.
Don't encourage him.
I know, right?
Also,
for me, I am unlike. Okay, so we're going off the rails now. Unlike this man who has no problem getting into a car and just driving all over the damn country. For me, Pensacon. I know I'm just moving my hand all over the damn place. Thanks, Kevo.
I'm backing you up.
no.
Go, Ricky. Go, Ricky.
Pensacon to me, if anything past 4 hours for me, is fly time. Only because I do have I have limited time off, and I would rather take, if I'm taking 5 days off from work, if I'm taking 3 days off from work, I want as much of those 3 days at the destination I'm at than traveling. So if I'm going for a weekend show, like in Pensacon, I want to fly up there. I don't want to spend 4 hours or 6 hours driving.
I
And then
think
6 hours back driving, and then realizing I gotta go to work tomorrow.
I always
gonna be
forget
dead.
how big Florida is. Oh my god.
yeah, it's so big. Yeah, and you're also in a different time zone there because you
Yeah.
lose an hour and you gain an hour. That's the nice thing about Pensacon is you literally time travel going there, so that's pretty cool.
That's
But
yours,
it is,
We don't have
Alabama, Pensacon.
yep. And
You're
then
in
New
Alabama.
Orleans is right there, but Florida is that. Yeah, it's
Because every state had to have a port, whatever.
yeah. But no,
Take
we did
that,
the
US history.
yeah. No, I grew up Midwest, so if it's under 14 hours, it's a drive. So it's because you take 2 hours to get to the airport. You have to be there 2 hours early. So that's 4 hours. 4-hour flight. That's 8.
Yep.
And there you're at Pensacon. And you haven't even made it to the airport on the other end. Got back to your hotel. That I've already driven there. My car's there. Everything's good.
When I came
So-
back from Origins in Columbus, it took me,
Yeah.
including the time that it took me to get rear-ended and wait for the cops and wait for all the blah, 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 blah that came from that. It took me 48 real hours.
No.
40 hours total door to door.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There were people who
that's
had
rough.
not gotten onto their flights home yet.
Yeah. Because of the delays and stuff up there. I remember there was Indianapolis PopCon. There was they had a freak rainstorm came in and it closed the airport for a day. And we had gotten our car had gotten somebody had jimmied the door and got in and searched everything. Nothing got stolen because all it was my books, and they're not worth stealing, I guess. So but they're also not easily pawned. So but we got all that taken care of, got the police reports, got all that, still drove home the 9 hours to North Carolina, and we were home before they'd even thought about getting a hotel room because they were still delaying flights, and they were still just sitting in the airport. So
This was crazy. Within 24 hours driving, I could be gone through 7 different countries.
7 different
Yeah,
countries.
that's the
That's-
thing. Europe constantly doesn't understand the size of North America. There is no comprehension on your side of the pond of how big our country is. We
With
are
no rail system.
insanely big.
Yeah.
We are huge. So every single bit of commentary that comes out of the UK about the Americas is with the absolute lack of comprehension of the fact that we're like 3 times the size of Europe as one country. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
and how the states sometimes just kind of wedge together. Because I'm in Western
yeah.
North Carolina, I'm like 30 minutes from Georgia, 30 minutes from Tennessee, and an hour from South Carolina. But to get to the other side of North Carolina, everybody's like, "Oh, you just go to Raleigh. Raleigh's 6 hours to the
Yep.
other side of the state." So
Oh,
it's
you
like,
just.
yeah,
You just
In 6 hours, Mark, you could do the length of the UK.
yeah, no. Yeah, right.
But if you get up to like Massachusetts and the New England,
Oh,
you can get through all the New England states in 4 hours. So it's like, yeah, it's the same thing. So
Yeah.
and like to like I was gonna say, to Kevo's point when it came to how big we don't have a rail system. It's not like just jump
No.
on a train
Oh,
and
it's
you don't have
no.
public transit.
awful.
We don't have transportation. You get in a
No.
car and go.
yeah, I couldn't believe how
For a
quick
while.
we got from London to Paris to Rome. I was like, this is just me leaving Florida when I lived in St. Pete going to Pensacon.
Yeah, and there's no interstate. That's the other part,
Yeah.
Dave. For Tampa Bay area, for St. Pete, for me to get to Pensacon, there's no good highway to get there.
No.
He's just like,
US
no, I gotta go up and over,
Excuses.
go
Yeah.
up. 19,
No, you have to deal with US
go up
19, which I do
19.
not recommend unless you've watched at least 12 Mad Max movies in a row. So,
Florida man's real thing.
Yeah.
No.
once
no,
you
I
leave the
fly.
cities, you've taken it's like those entering the Badlands.
It was suggested that I should go to Gallifrey 1 before Pensacon,
Yeah.
which is totally in LA.
That's
the
LA,
weekend
isn't it?
before. Yes, that is
It's
LA.
You're gonna
opposite
drive?
side of the-
I would be driving, and I was debating it. I'm not doing it.
No.
I'm
You
not
can
doing
do
it.
No.
66, which only takes about 2 days. So,
Yeah.
It's only-
Like that would have been it. I would have happily
no,
done it. but-
No, because you know what's going to happen? You will die of dysentery. You will die of dysentery for that. No, no. You
No,
don't
I'll
have
avoid
a
it
faucet.
first.
Oxygen drown.
Try. Do you have enough oxen? Do you have enough barley? No, sir, you will
I
not
don't
make
think
it.
so. Your wagon wheel will break. Your oxen will drown. You will
Yeah.
get dysentery.
No.
Does anyone
Yeah,
of the
that's
Florida
what I
types know the answer to this?
Will there be a
Or
present in
anyone
Central
who-
Florida Comic Con? Unfortunately, no. We do not have enough coverage to do that because we have the we had the table, but we do not have the coverage for the booth. So it's easier just for us to bow out than try to do a day because it's right before MegaCon. So I won't be able. I won't be able to. Christian schedule, he won't be able to. So we're not going to be at Central Florida Comic Con in Lakeland this time.
Are any of us at Sci-Fi Bartow?
I'm not.
Yeah,
I
I'm
might
not
go.
there.
I might attend just to go, just to have fun.
I was asked to be there, but it's the same weekend as another thing I'm doing that I'm not allowed to talk about. So things involving non-disclosures. So
Mark NDA Muncie.
It sucks. I want to tell everybody. I'm like, I'm doing this thing, and it's for a thing, but I can't say a word. So and it happened to be on the same weekend as Sci-Fi Bartow. So
I joke,
Roger,
but I
had an
adore
invitation
and I'm proud of you.
Just can't make it.
Yeah,
I legitimately had an invitation to come do some stuff at San Diego, and I just cannot make it happen this year.
Why not? See, that one I'm going to.
The world.
Oh wow.
I may end up having a wedding that I have like day job work at the other end of out east. And so it's just not. They booked me first. if I'm going to be doing shooting a wedding, the other end of the continent, you bring I'll do that rather than having to spend the money and the time to go down to San Diego.
We just got to get a transmat invented, gang. Once we get the transmat done, we're good. So we can just blink across everything. So I've got to run, gang. Speaking of which, I'm picking a transmat beam out and heading to, and we'll see you soon. Bye, gang.
Thank you. We're glad you're here, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
I'll be on as much as I can. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
As Andrew says, it's about Bigfoot. We know, Mark.
Yeah. That's as soon as you
always about Bigfoot.
Will you leave? He still hasn't come left you alone. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So, quick question. I know it's going off topic, but as you've driven both in the US and the UK, Melanie, how do you find the difference?
Your roundabouts suck.
You got a roundabout in Clearwater.
All roundabouts.
So
we have one roundabout, sir, and people still get hurt on it. Okay, so the difference to me it's not other than right side of the road running, so that fun. I did adore going to from London. I took the train out to Salisbury because I love the fact that over there you have a rental system. Not many car rental agencies though, because from Salisbury a few years back, we went from there. We were going out to Devon, and we rented the car. And because my mom wanted to see this donkey sanctuary, and it was just gonna be a day trip, and it was like maybe an hour and a half away, not far. But when I told the rental agent that we're bringing it back today, he just looked at me like, what do you mean you're bringing it back today? I'm like, we're gonna go out to Devon, we'll come back, and then we'll take the train back. And he just could not comprehend me driving this distance. Like, I told him I was about to load up the oxen and we're headed over, we're heading west. I mean, he just that's so far. And I'm like, is it? That's to me Disney. I do that after work, go to Disney and then come back. I mean, so that's so distance wise, it was an issue. The country roads are nuts out there because y'all are very protective of your land up to the curb, and that they stick a hedge on it. So there's and then the roads, instead of being able to 2 car lengths, no, it's like 1.5. And that your minimum speed, which I think is hilarious, is like, it's 60. I'm sorry, what?
I can
you
run
want to do
faster
a
than
road?
that.
It's like you're perpetually in the trench run of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's just that's it. And then and if there is a curb, it's all wet, and your car can live there. And it's no. I was blessed that all my driving was during the daytime. I'm not bad at night, but in a weird area that I'm not used to with your claustrophobic trench run, stay on target. No.
I actually prefer me actually driving at night in most little country lanes, 1 car width, 60 miles an hour with lights on, because you can see the other cars coming with lights before you can do it.
Oh,
Because
okay.
some of the during the day when the corners are like literally 90 degrees in the one-track country lines, and you're doing like 40 or 60 down those country lines, when a car comes around the corner, you ain't got time to think. So it's better to drive them at night time, even though you might hit a deer. That's just one of the things you might come across. But it's better to drive country lanes at night time because of the car lights.
I'll say Dave's country, he can accidentally drive at night and hit a moose. So I don't know how he. No wonder you're fine driving all over the U.S.
No, you don't want to hit a moose.
Like
you don't
a
want a
moose.
moose to hit you.
No. The closest thing we've got a moose is probably the stags and deers, and they're insane.
In Soviet Russia, moose hit you. Isn't that right,
Technically
Natasha?
megafauna. Let's see. Sorry, look at the thing. Sidmouth Donkey. That is exactly where we went. We went to the Sidmouth Donkey Sanctuary. That was the whole purpose of my mom wanting us to all do a family trip to London. Was to go to see her donkeys that she adopted. And I was like, let's do this. Drove out there and came back. It was fun. It was actually quite nice. It was just before COVID. Because it was 2019. So what else? Oh, that actually is a kind of a segue here. Would that be a decent idea to have a show for at least American audiences to understand certain nuances that we see in Doctor Who? Those differences
Like
for an American audience, because, or even then if there's different, if we review certain times in Doctor Who, this would be it. Certain times in Doctor Who where they've done American things that are absolutely wrong, or vice versa, where
fair things that were like, as Americans, that is pretty fair. This was incorrect, but this isn't quite America.
Those, I don't, because almost like sometimes
Now we're
there's
just doing a
accents
Thunderbirds
that are like
episode.
that. Huh?
I think the it's not quite America thing. That now we're just doing a Thunderbirds episode.
Okay.
Because Thunderbirds is all about America by Brits who've never been to America.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But as a British person looking at America, it must be different depending on which state you live in. And so you're depending on which state you are. Oh, it's just a curiosity. So, like, how you do things in Florida or how you do things in New York might be completely different to how you do things in, like, Montana, for example.
No, that's true, because there is like certain. Well, there's definitely different things, at least from a southern perspective, where I don't consider Florida the South. Granted, lately they're trying like hell to make the South. I find that like it's because it's so much of a transplant state, especially around the coast.
Yes.
So we have pockets where it's nothing but from people from different areas. I always say if you want to head to the south, you got to travel north. The south is Georgia. There's the deep south. But one nuance that's always still been very Floridian is saying sir and ma'am. It's a very southern thing to say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, y'all, those kind of different words. So there are different things, at least speech wise, like y'all, Utes.
All y'all don't get to take over y'all. All y'all can't have y'all.
No. There's a difference between y'all, all, and all y'all. There's all y'all, all of y'all, and and y'all. There's all of y'all, ye all.
Yeah. Y'all, all of y'all. And all y'all can't just have it.
And Kevo, from
y'all is a word. It's a contraction of ye all, which ye is the plural of you. Thank you.
Ye is the word for fur in Old English.
It's for what?
Fur. Definite article. Fur.
Sure.
Yeah. Like, you see, like the old little shop. It means the old shop.
Oh yeah, but the other one from the old Scots for ye is like hear ye. It's not specific you. It's the plural of you.
It's like the cats here.
Oh,
yeet,
yeah, I see
here,
what you mean by
yeet,
ye
here,
old.
yeet.
Ye old.
It probably actually, rather than the, means your, like your
Yeah.
old shop. Like, this is your shop for this. So it's like how I was just reading, the more the merrier is actually etymologically originally like when more then merrier is what the context of the original language meant. But, you know, that's just been lost over time. Language is crazy.
I love learning about I do a word of a day. I do a word of the day on the board at work, and I usually, the first thing is I'll say the word and what it means, and then on the bottom right I have it, the etymology of the word, of where it came from, and all that kind of fun stuff. Not done yet. Now I'm gonna have to do
TARDIS.
Yeah.
Watch my show tonight.
So, Kevo, since you're like northern in the States, how do you find the difference between north and south in the US?
It depends on where you go. It depends on where you travel. For about 3 years, I worked seasonally in Disney. So we were traveling from New Jersey and driving down to Florida like 2 or 3 times a year. It is different for sure. I definitely get where Melanie is coming from. North Florida is deep south. Central Florida is like a lot more progressive, and then south is like Republican Latino.
Mhm.
It's a very odd, like all of Florida is the size of the UK. So yeah, it's crazy. Later this week, we're driving up to see my husband's partner TK in Maine. That's going to be a 9-hour drive up from New Jersey to Maine. You know, but what's interesting though is what you drew my attention to is there are so many ways in which a lot of our experiences are universal, or a lot of our understanding of our country is universal. Because I even feel like some of the ways in which America is portrayed on Doctor Who, like, I think a lot of people from different areas would agree that they don't agree with the portrayal, even though we have such vastly different areas to our country, whether it's urban, whether it's middle of the country, whether it's tropical, whether it's snowy. We got everything. We have too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's quite interesting. Like in the UK, where you can travel just like 30 minutes up the road and you'll be speaking a completely different accent.
I mean, and I'm from an area where that's true of like you travel 20 minutes in New Jersey, and that's even true because of, you know, New York and how many different, there's like 190 distinct dialects to New York or something. Like there's some astronomically crazy number because of how much it's a melting pot of all the different cultures.
Oh,
So yeah, even within our individual states, there's so much different culture.
yeah, because even then it depends on what areas there are. Because it, like, even in my city, you I guess the best analogy is like how many times people will have either a Chinatown or have a Little Italy, because of those, the immigrants kind of come into those different sections. But even in my county, so in Pinellas County, Dunedin has a lot of, like, their whole thing is the Scottish heritage of all the people who were actually Scottish that moved into that little area. And then just north of Tarpon Springs, it has a huge Greek population, and that's where all the sponge docks are and the sponge divers are, and it's insanely very Greek. So it's kind of interesting where you just have these little tiny melting pots within, and I'm just talking about the count into one little tiny county of Florida, which is freaking giant. Which is so even then that could be, even how you're saying, like with Doctor Who, that could be something we could talk about more on.
I agree.
Those kind of episodes where maybe, I don't want to pick on things, where if maybe if somebody was specifically, I don't know how I would be able to touch on that, on making sure that it's a positive, uplifting kind of thing of saying, okay, well, this episode took place here, and here's more information, and hit like maybe more of the history and other kind of fun stuff that maybe were silent nods that we could, or Easter eggs.
I'm sure there's highs and lows for, you know, whatever area they're portraying. So we could talk about the things they got right about America, the things that we didn't think were good. You know, it's all meant to be constructive criticism at the end of the day. So as long as we're not like, you suck.
And we could even do not just America, but we could also do different areas where the Doctor visits within the UK and try, be a little bit more research heavy on those episodes.
Something that I keep thinking about in terms of the Chibnall era of Doctor Who is how Sheffield focused it was, and how I want to do research and study it and get a better analogy, but it's kind of like if a lot of Doctor Who had been focused on New York for ages, and then all of a sudden this era was focused on Pittsburgh. That would be such a dramatically different show. The culture, the people, everything about it is so different. No wonder it felt so different. But a lot of international audiences have no context for that sort of nuance, and so I think that's something that is interesting to talk about.
Like how Andrew brought up Doctor Who, the filming locations, and that kind of segues.
We should have really recorded that too, Candyman. We really should have done more than just photos. All the places that we went.
Yeah.
When I was over there, Mark took me around. We were all over the place at filming locations. It was great. And I've gotten to do a bunch of the ones that are from the movie, because of course that was filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia, as opposed to anything in actual Britain. So that was fun. I got to see a few of those locations with Yiji taking me around. So yeah, we definitely, that would be a thing we could definitely do.
Okay. And I think there's a lot, like especially towards the end of our discussion here, that we have a good starting point to kind of refine a lot of, because like I said, I've been writing, and I will, Dave, go back and actually redo notes and stuff and watch this and all that kind of fun stuff. But we are kind of almost out of time. We're still at we're almost at that hour and a half mark. So with that, anybody, again, please feel free to leave comments after the show if you have any other ideas that you want to, that you would like to see that we haven't touched on, that we didn't bring up, or anything like that. So that way, when I go back, I can write them down.
And if you're watching it later, still comment, still say what you think as well. And
if you missed this live, don't worry. That's why I will keep coming back just to go, oh, new comment. Okay. Oh, let me add that to it. Because again, this was planning for all of 2024. This is not going to be able to cover an entire year's worth of content. I mean, or then some, who knows?
We could always do another one of these too. We'll check in, see how our audience is doing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then even then, it's like we could
of time. Thankfully, we can all be thankful that we're going to lose 2 months worth of time in May and theoretically June.
Yeah, because let's face it, we're also going to have reviews of actual Doctor Who episodes for yes,
yay!
I know.
Whether we will or will not have a watch party. That's another thing, people. Did you join us for the watch parties for any of the specials? Did you like that? Did you like when I'm sitting here doing that? And we get that. Mark did, yeah. So we got to jump in and have that conversation, immediately. And that was a lot of fun for me. Whether it's feasible in the next ones, we will find out later. Closer to May, but I would love to know if you guys like that, if you want us to do it again. Alternative Doctors
ideas out there. Alternative Doctors, Cushing, Shalka. I can never say that word. Shalka Doctor, Unbound,
or Richard E. Grant.
And then Figure Product Review from B&M, which is
the Tom show.
Yeah, B&M. For people in the US who don't know B&M is like a general.
It's their Hasbro.
No, it's a general hardware. It's like best way to describe it. It's just like a dollar store. It's not just pure hardware. It's just everything in one shop. It's like a trying to think of
Walmart before it became Walmart.
Okay,
no, it's smaller than Walmart. It's
no, but the concept, yeah.
We had everything.
It's a home store.
Yeah, sort of, but not as big as Walmart. because Walmart is like what we classify as a supermarket over here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like way back when Walmart was only that. They didn't have the groceries. They didn't have everything else. You could go there for home goods, and they had a little toy. I would almost say Kmart.
I was going to say, what's the cheaper version of Walmart?
Yeah, but
It's like
that.
Sam's Club.
yeah, Sam's Club, something like that. It's just like a little shop popping up everywhere in the UK, very most major towns, and you just literally go there, just buy bits and bobs. It's one of these sort of stores you think you go in, buy one thing, and come out with like 20 things.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm like, that's why I say Walmart, because it's the old one, not the Walmart Supercenter, which every Walmart is now becoming a supercenter, but the old Kmart or
Yeah, it's just Walmart.
Yeah, it's just Walmart, little Walmart. Sam's Club is a bulk store.
So just a
How old are you? TG&Y, and the fact that I know that you're talking about TG&Y. Are we also going to bring up McCory's?
Bradley's. I remember
Bradley's.
Bradley's.
Woolworth.
Yeah, it's similar to Woolworths.
Oh,
You said
Woolworths.
Honest
That's an
Ed's.
old one.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly,
Okay.
before we lose the comment to the history of time, Andrew, no,
Yes.
we probably won't review the Unleashed episodes, specifically because it's really only available on the BBC, which definitely limits our availability to do that. Yes, we could probably find it through Sea Deviling, but, you know, and yes, that is the new term, because, you know, we all know Sea Devils are just pirates now, so, you know, we could probably Sea Devil it, but no, there's no intention of that right now. Doesn't mean we won't in the future. That doesn't mean we couldn't look at, by the same thing, the Tales from the TARDIS episodes.
Yeah.
Do we want to look at those? Yeah,
Those I think people put up on YouTube, at least.
yeah, and you can find that stuff.
Mhm.
So
Everyone's going into the old school, old
Yeah.
5 and dime style stores. Oh Lord, I said 5 and dime. How old am I? Anyway,
with
Do
that,
we
here,
do we have to answer that question?
no, it hurts. Someone give me my Aleve
Ah,
or my BC or my head or my goodies headache powder. Anywho, so with that, Dave, where are you gonna be this or anything you want to promote and all that other kind of fun stuff right now?
I don't have anything specific coming up. I did have an interview just this past week on Mickey Mouse / Steamboat Willie entering into the public domain, and there's a game jam on itch.io with that, so you can actually go like create a game, video games, role-playing games. Wannabe Games has a solo RPG coming out that looks really interesting. So we talked a bunch about that. You can find that on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/therathole DOTCA. As always, I also put up my reviews of the 6 Years of Adventure on my site, therathole.ca. That will be hitting social media on Friday. I think I have that scheduled to go out, but it did actually go up on New Year's Eve for award season reasons. Other than that, yeah, you'll find me here for the next few weeks in theory. I don't have anything specific big planned. I'm taking off, so I'm not even going to do another Twitch stream of a game.
I'm now going to quickly go through some of the comments because now everyone's just having fun with James Way from My Kids Are Small and Ben Franklin stores. We used to have Ben Franklin over here. BC Powder, thank you. Melanie, you're young enough to be one of my granddaughters. Bless your soul. 21 is at your age. See, another person who's extremely kind. Yeah. Sure. Flattery will get you everywhere. The reimagined Dalek figure length episode on DVD. Okay, well that's a good idea. Okay, I'll add that one to the list. No one knows my age. He's now also the Shadow. I still see and I still got all the books in the mail. Oh, Lord. So getting back to it, Kevo, would you have anything to promote? Where are you going to be? What are you doing? Do you ever sleep?
I'm so tired. I've been sleeping too much. I need to get back on my no sleep game.
We have this going on right now.
Is the MonsterVerse good?
How that's not a show. That's just a 3-letter answer. Yes.
That is the answer, actually, is the answer that we came to. It didn't have to be a yes. It was not a strong start. The first movie is not a good pilot, but man, is this an interesting experiment in building a whole universe around a movie that barely features any of the characters from that first movie, except for the big one, the big man himself. This video is doing pretty well, so go check that one out. And then this Saturday, we will be reviewing the season finale of Monarch. Which, frankly, anything you're not getting from the MonsterVerse movies, Monarch is pretty much everything that we could have wanted. The amount of character focus and really close examination that it gives of what this world is like for people. Really, really, really amazing work. Hoping it gets a second season. Looking forward to the next movie. We have a comic broadcast tomorrow where we will be covering whatever is going on in X. They're rising, they're falling. We're not thrilled, but such is the state of comics. And other than that, we are also in the middle of our RuPaul's Drag Race coverage. The season of Canada is ending, and no one cares because the new season of America just started, and that is the main focus. So check out all of that over on our channel.
Awesome. Andrew Morris comments that I have to say that some of those monster movies are good.
Yeah.
Somebody told me just recently, I think, is it a new Godzilla movie coming out?
Godzilla -1 just came out.
That's it.
It's separate from these. For these, the next one coming out is Godzilla Kong New Empire. There's like an X in the middle between Godzilla and Kong. And my boyfriend told me you don't pronounce that. You just say Godzilla Kong.
Oh, I didn't know that either. I always wonder that you would say the X now.
Yeah.
Everything
like
now has the X
Kong.
to say there with, against. Okay.
Godzilla
right.
times Kong equals New
Times.
Empire.
I want to be with you. We're just going to math it out. It's like it's now times Kong. So now
I feel like now I'm going to have to bring this with me to Calgary because and make this one of my next game reviews.
It was a beautiful film. A little ham-handed, but the cinematography, all of it, was really amazing.
Ow! I'm sorry. I started watching the camera again. It's like,
So dynamic.
Mark.
I do know that Godzilla's the largest movie franchise ever. I think.
Oh yeah,
53 films.
Andrew says X is for show, not Twitter. There we go.
Yeah,
I love
X
that.
is for show.
Mark, Candyman, do you have anything to promote? Where can we see you? What are you doing?
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Mainly helping out Johnny Who Entertainments. That's just going on there. If you want look on YouTube or Facebook for Johnny Who Entertainments. We do fan-based stuff. Apart from doing a Robin and Sherwood convention this year, not a lot. I'm just basically let life happen and see where it takes me. Just float and taking a nice, sweet British perspective. There was an old saying, life happens when you make plans.
Life happens when you make plans. I like that.
Sure, one way or another.
All right. Let's see if there's any more other comments. Andrew says you make a good time lord, Mark.
Would make a
Thank
good
you.
time lord.
Okay, Dalek. James Bond is catching up to Godzilla. I don't know what he's referring to.
I think in terms of films.
Oh, ooh.
I don't think at the moment. I think the one which is slightly below that is probably Carry On Films. They're up to about 30 or 40, but I think Godzilla's hit the 50 mark now.
I would love to see James Bond face Godzilla. That'd be amazing.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
See, I'm all about like let's make crossovers bigger. Forget just Godzilla versus King Kong. Yeah, throw James Bond in there. Hell yeah.
And Gamma.
I'm trying to think. So would Bond be overseas, or would Godzilla go to the UK, or do they go to neutral ground?
I mean,
New
this
York.
Godzilla
They both go to New York.
They
The
don't
last
go to
time,
New York.
because Godzilla in New
Godzilla-
York works so well.
No, absolutely not. We keep Godzilla away from New York at all costs. That
The-
iguana lizard.
And
thing.
Matthew Broderick. We talked about that one just a little bit.
It's one of my dirty, guilty pleasure movies. Not
I
Godzilla,
remember-
but
It's got Doug
popcorn
Savant.
movie.
I'm gonna always remember the fact that I went to, I think it was McDonald's. Was it McDonald's or Burger King? Where they were trying to keep it secret. They did not want to show what Godzilla looked like. And I remember pulling into the drive-through line, and also there it was. And I'm going, what on earth is that?
I think
And
I'm
I
going
just
to
remember
need a
being offended,
bigger
even though I was
box.
kind of youngish. It was youngish, but
It
being
was
offended.
Taco
thinking,
Bell with the Chihuahua trying to catch it.
If
And
you really want a surprise, a Godzilla surprise, and you've never heard of Godzuki, just go watch the opening of our broadcast. It was a very special surprise for my husband that I was able to procure. Godzuki reference. He's a big fan. If you don't know what it is, go check out this episode on X's for Show.
Wasn't that in the cartoon? Yeah. Okay.
And I flashed on that because I was thinking about the 1999 cartoon based on the Matthew Broderick movie, where Godzilla just loves being animated, baby.
Yep.
Sorry, I just caught that. Because he was animated. Ugh. Andrew says, I love the Lego movies with crazy crossovers. This is absolutely correct. And Godzilla cartoon. Okay, and last, I guess me, quick, so that Dave can leave because I know he's running over. I'm prepping for MegaCon. You're going to still see me for the next couple weeks beforehand, the next couple Tuesdays. I have no idea what next week's show is going to be about, so probably something from this list.
I'm gonna say.
Hey. But yeah, prepping for MegaCon. I will be at MegaCon. My table is AA 1125. If I'll start putting it on my pieces of melee, that thing. If you're considering going to MegaCon, on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page, there is an affiliate link that if you buy your tickets through me or my affiliate link, I get a discount off my table for next year. Does that mean that you get a discount? Of course not. Does that mean I get a discount now? Of course not. Does anybody actually get any money? Not really this year, but it helps to my table for next year. If you're buying tickets, otherwise, if you don't use me, use somebody else that you possibly know, help support somebody getting a little bit extra if that's a small business trying to get the table for MegaCon next year. I guess that's about it. Dave, what's all the extra buttons that you have to push? That's it.
the one that says thank you for watching and that you should like our channel and all of our channels, in fact. Don't forget you've already been commenting, but comment more because feed the algorithm. Share this video and all of our videos from all of our channels. And don't forget to subscribe to all of our channels.
Do all the
Yay!
things that everybody tells you to do at the ends and during and everything during YouTube. You know what? I didn't. Yeah. All right. Push the button.
I'm gonna make a
Dave.
All right.
superior one.
Yeah.
Right.
Bye, all.
Bye, y'all.